if, God forbid, you got a message saying this is going to be the last day, your last day here, you're going to spend that majority of the time with your kids.
Right.
If you see a lot of like espionage, spy movies, they're always like, oh, their money's in the Cayman Islands. Because everybody's always like hoarding their money.
Their account in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, everybody got an account in the Cayman Islands. So a lot of the names are like influenced by my culture.
Okay.
So like 7 Mile, a lot of the 7 Mile is from 7 Mile Beach.
Okay. What was the biggest culture shock about moving specifically to Tennessee, but just the U.S.?
Ooh. The Burger King sandwiches, don't cut in half. Don't take advantage of just being able to go to sleep. Like, just not just sleep, but also, you know, taking care of yourself, making sure you, like, put yourself first in whatever situation, just kind of trying to be a little bit more selfish.
Okay, so Shey and Mansa, thank you for coming on the Working Moms Podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Why don't you start by telling me a little bit about your business?
Well, my business is Shey Natural Health Bar, and we do all natural products. So I hail from the beautiful islands of Cuba and Grand Cayman, and my products have a bit of my culture infused into it. So
beautiful.
All of our juices, smoothies, our herbal products, our body butter, all that stuff just has a little bit of island touch to it. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you know? Okay, so you also do interpreting, correct? Okay, is that a separate business? Okay.
So I have another business called SJ Interpreting Agency.
Cool.
And we do interpreting. Me and my kids have a bilingual coloring book as well. I do medical interpreting, professional interpreting, translating. A few times I've done 911 calls where I'll interpret those. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, that's gotta be exciting with the 911 or.
Oh yeah.
I guess maybe petrifying too.
Nah, it's a lot of fun. The ones that I've had have been pretty funny.
Okay.
Thankfully, I haven't had any like traumatic ones.
Yeah.
It's always like, oh, they're partying too loud.
Oh, okay.
Or like my uncle's drunk. It's always like one of those. And
Okay.
Sometimes I end up being a mediator. I'm like, okay, y'all need to just calm down. I guess it'll be okay. But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. How long ago did you start Shey Natural Health Bar?
I started it in 2020.
Okay.
So
And then is it all online or do you have a storefront?
No, I have it all online. I do shipping, pickups, local delivery. So yeah, everything is online.
Okay. And then how many different flavor combinations do you have? Do you switch it up for different seasons?
Well, right now we have, for the juices, we have 7 Mile Sunrise, 7 Mile Beat, 7 Mile Green, and 7 Mile Hydrate.
Okay.
So those are our mainstays. And then I have a customized juice option. Just depending on whatever it is that you really want to work on.
Yeah.
I can customize a juice for you. We can
Cool.
kind of talk, see what you're allergic to. Some people are allergic to apples. They might not want apples in their juice.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a whole lot of things. Some people may not like a certain consistency. So I'll sit down with you and we'll kind of go through what type of juices it is you really like.
Yeah.
And I can make them for you.
Cool. And then you make them all in your house, correct?
Yep.
And does your husband help with that or is he involved in the company?
So my husband, he's more involved in like the technical side.
Okay.
Yeah, he's more of like the making sure the website is looking good, like everything is running properly, everything is secured. He does cybersecurity for a living, so he does.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, he does all of that.
Yeah.
All I got to do is look pretty and make juices. So,
love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And you're working, I can tell, on like growing a social following. You're connecting with different businesses. I guess what's your goal for that side of business? Are you hoping to connect with people in the community, or I guess what's your goal for that side of the business?
So for that, I'm really hoping to kind of foster more connections with athletes.
Okay.
I'm an athlete myself. I run track for Grand Cayman. I play flag football for Grand Cayman. And
Okay.
I'm still really heavily involved in the athletic world. So I kind of feel like it's something that we need. Like we need something natural, something. Yeah, we do. We need something natural.
Yeah, it's not just Gatorade.
Yeah, something more organic, something that'll help us not just perform better, but also like be healthy for us. To
and feel
consume.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and knowing what we're
Yeah.
putting in our bodies
Yeah.
versus just drinking or eating blindly.
Right, exactly. And as moms, like, with him, I breastfeed. I can't just drink or take anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, other moms that are athletes too that don't want to have to take a whole bunch of supplements or a whole bunch of like pills and stuff just to be able to perform at their best.
Yeah.
Like, we can do it naturally. Like,
yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how did you come to live in Chattanooga? How long have you been here?
I moved here in 2016, and it's a funny story. I met my husband playing flag football.
Oh, that's cute.
Our team from Cayman normally goes up to a tournament, nationals every January, and his team went up to the same tournament as well.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't, I didn't see him. He saw me.
Oh, of course.
So, you know how that,
I didn't even know you were there.
Yeah. So he ended up sending me like a friend request.
Aww.
And we were long distance for like 6 months.
Okay.
And then we were like, are we gonna like move? Like, what's the deal? Because at this time I was still living at home. I was still living in Grand Cayman.
Okay.
I was still running track and still playing flag football. Still running track and playing flag football. And he was like, well, he wanted to move there.
Okay.
He wanted to move. I was like, nah, the island is insane. Like, you don't want to have to move here. It's crazy. But I ended up moving up to Charleston. That's where we were living first. And then in 2016, we moved to Chattanooga.
So he was in Charleston.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay. And then tell me about your family. You have 4 children, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I have my 7-year-old Legend, my 5-year-old Shuri. I gotta it's like a list in my head. It's Legend 7, Shuri 5, Alma is 2, and then Mansa is about to be 9 months.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Busy, full household. Love it. Mine's the same.
Oh yeah, it's never a dull moment. It's always somebody running around screaming.
Yeah.
Somebody complaining about something.
Right. Somebody
telling on someone. I'm like, look, y'all.
Somebody's crying.
If y'all can't figure it out, what do you want me to do?
Right.
It's like the sibling thing. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how
it
to
makes
deal
them
with
better
it.
people, though. I feel like if they didn't have somebody bugging them constantly, then they'd be bugging us constantly. So.
It's like, there you go. You guys are friends.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughters especially, they'll say the meanest stuff to each other, and then they go off and they're best friends and play these games. They're like, I call them best frenemies because I'm like, you're so mean, and then you're best friends. And now they're using their little brother to try to make the other one jealous, which has been fun. And I'm like, don't use the baby for this.
Diabolical.
Totally. Well, speaking of that, how do you balance having your businesses, and then having 4 children? What's your tips?
Well, honestly, a lot of time management. I have a Notion calendar.
Okay.
I have I use the Notion organizer.
Okay. I've heard of it. I've never used it.
It's life changing.
Okay, I'll have to look into it.
Yes, you do.
Do you use it both for personal and business? Okay.
Yes, and then your calendars can integrate all of that stuff, the Class Dojo for the kids integrates. I don't know if people use Class Dojo, but I love Class Dojo. It all just integrates really well, and then I just have it on my phone, so I just get alerts all the time when I have things. Also, even though I have my days planned out, I also know that it may not happen this way.
Yeah.
I'm more than likely I might not get any work done.
Yeah.
Because
it's a good mindset.
Today I might not get any work done. I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't
breastfeeding on a podcast, you're getting so many things done.
Right. So if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it'll happen tomorrow. We could try again tomorrow.
Yeah. I started saying high hopes, low expectations. Yeah. Specifically on days where things are off, because a lot of times they get thrown off of your schedule of what you wanted it to be and look like. Someone's sick or something, there's a vacation day or there's a storm or something comes up where your kids are there when you didn't expect them to be, or it's just a weekend day and something's going on for business. And so I started saying that, and I feel like it's a good mindset to have.
It is,
because things are gonna inevitably come up in business and in your personal life. So.
Right. And especially when they're this little, it's you kind of have to leave space for that. You can't, me and my husband, literally this morning we were talking about how for a while we've been putting a lot of our own personal like aspirations in front of like everything. Like,
Yeah.
okay, we want to go do this, we want to go do that. And you kind of put the kids in the back burner because they're so little.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, it's more like a routine. Like, oh, I'm taking care of you, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And you forget that they're human beings growing up too.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to just take a step back and, okay, all this stuff, it'll be okay if this stuff doesn't get done today.
Yeah. It'll happen eventually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Having an open mind is a good thing as a parent and as a business owner.
Yeah.
Especially when you have both.
Yes. And then knowing that at the end of the day, like, they're the most important.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the business is great. All that is fun. But
it's hard to not get sucked into that, though. Where you're like, I'm so close to this, or I want to hit this goal. Mm-hmm. But then remembering that, like, it's their childhood, and this is really what matters. Like, at the end of the day, this is why I'm doing it, but it also like they're what matter more than business. Yeah. So if God forbid you got a message saying this is going to be the last day, your last day here, you're going to spend that majority of the time with your kids, or you're like playing, or who cares about business?
Right? Like, the business is the last thing on your mind if somebody told you that you only got 24 hours.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like, so sometimes I have to like give myself like that little, if this was your last day, what would you do?
Yeah.
Like, what would you...
Yeah, you'd spend it with the ones you love, for sure.
Go to the park.
Yeah.
Run around. I don't know.
Slow down and simplify.
Put your shoes on the dirt for a little bit. Your feet.
Totally. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, what would you say are your biggest challenges when it comes to your business and raising your family at the same time?
Priority.
Okay.
Like prioritizing, like not which one I want to do first, but like what's like the next like best step to take? Like what's like, do I prioritize? The word is killing me. Prioritize this,
tough one.
or something else. It's always been kind of tough for me to kind of figure out which one is better to do, because I've always been like so high performing, like with being an athlete, like everything that I try to do it like at the best that I can possibly do it, and sometimes it doesn't happen that way. We have drafts for a reason. Like you got to go through the ugly
Not everybody
stage.
can be the best.
Exactly. And I had to kind of get myself out of that mindset, because I would be like, oh, if I'm not good at it, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm not already good at playing this sport, I'm not trying to do it. I'm not trying to learn. Like, that was my mindset growing up. So, and it was because I was just really good at a lot of sports.
Yeah, competitive.
So I kind of took that into all other areas of life. And that doesn't work.
It's hard in parenting, because it's like day one, they grow with you and you grow with them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it's good you don't start out parenthood with a toddler, because I think everybody would give up. Yeah. They start out with this like little tiny, really like helpless creature, but they're pretty quiet. I mean, they cry quietly, but the cry gets louder. Mm-hmm. So it kind of warms you up for that. Yep. But then there's so many mistakes and things that happen that you learn along the way. And so it's always a process. So it's hard to have that way of thinking with parenting, because it's hard to not get caught up in that. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Do you still play flag football?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I can't give up. Chattanooga Sports League, they have flag football here for adults.
Cool.
But me and my husband, we kind of travel and play. Okay. So our teams are out of Atlanta. My team is out of Atlanta. His team is out of Nashville. So we'll like travel.
Oh, you're on different teams.
Well, the men's team. Like, the men's team is out of Nashville. My women's team is out of Atlanta. But we'll kind of like at the tournaments, we'll have a co-ed team, and we're all playing together. Do you ever play
each other or no?
No, okay. Me and my husband do not play each other, because it gets way too competitive.
Yeah, totally.
And he's faster than me, and I don't like it. I don't like that he's faster than me.
Oh yeah, that would annoy me.
I'll give it to him.
But you'll know that their weak spots, so it's like just take him out by his knee.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, you know what, we need to play on the same team.
Yeah. And then I guess, what goals do you have for Shey Natural Health Bar this year? Do you have any goals for 2025?
For this year, I am hoping to have more online sales. I'm hoping to kind of vamp up my online sales by about 50%. Okay. Just because I want to spend more time with the kids. I don't want to go to before I would do a lot more events. I would have like a bunch of
That's
events to go to. Yeah. And now I kind of want to, you know, kind of slow that down.
Yeah.
Do more online, kind of be more interpersonal with my customers.
Okay.
And spend more time with the kids. So I'm
and
hoping for that, yeah.
You said you do shipping? Like you, okay, and then do you ship, how far do you ship?
Right now, the furthest that I've shipped has been Charleston, South Carolina. So, and I've also shipped to Memphis.
Wow.
I'm trying to see if I can ship over to, I think it's Virginia.
Okay.
It's
Virginia's.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah,
on that coast.
Yeah, it's a little ways away. I'm still learning my American geography.
Oh, the states. Yeah, there's a lot.
It's a whole bunch.
I feel like if you asked any person who lives here, who has lived here for a long time, they probably wouldn't even know all 50 states off the top of their head without looking them up. Yeah,
for a long time, like I would like when my husband would say Texas, I'd be like, you mean down there?
Yeah.
Like, I would have to like kind of.
That way?
Yeah, I need to like physically be like this way, that way. Like, where is it?
Yeah, there's a lot. It's a lot. I don't think most people even know all 50. I mean, without cheating.
Yeah, when I moved here in Cayman, we don't use like GPS to get around. It's more like you kind of you kind of know where everything is, or somebody will be like, oh, it's over there. Turn the corner. If you pass a tree, you've gone too far. Like that's
kind of a cool way to live, though.
Yeah, that's the kind of directions I was used to.
Yeah.
And then when I got here, it was like, oh, I need GPS. I need somebody to tell me where to go. One time I got lost going to so we used to live like right up here, like on ML King. Yeah. And I was supposed to go to the Wendy's right here on the corner. I ended up at the Wendy's in like Highway 58 because I didn't know. Very far. My husband called me. He's like, where are you? You've been gone for like an hour. I'm like, I don't even know.
I'm looking for this Wendy's.
I've been trying to find this Wendy's that I know is like right around the corner, but I couldn't find it. So
when we first moved here, had never lived in a different city than Colorado cities, so that's what I was very used to, and it's very like grid-like there. Yeah. Okay. And the roads aren't really like that here. They're like it's curvy. There's random hills. There's houses just like thrown on a street that I'm like, is this safe?
House shouldn't be here.
Yeah. Why are these houses on this mountain? But I tried to not use GPS, and I was pregnant when we moved here with my oldest, so I didn't have any kids, so I had a little more time to drive around and try to find places. So I was like, I'm not using GPS, like. I don't know why. I just had it in my mind. Like, I need to learn the roads.
You're going to figure it out.
And I was we used to live in Ottawa, so I was on 58 up by that food city, and I was going the wrong way. But I didn't realize I was going the wrong way. So I was trying to go south, but I kept going north until it hits one lane. And I was like, this isn't right. So then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use GPS. Because it's hard when you've never been to a city or a place and you move there and you want to figure it out, but it's really hard without GPS. Yeah. I don't know how people did it with actual maps.
Right. Like my husband used to work at EPB, so I would drive like down ML King. Yeah.
And because it's right over here.
Yeah. And so like there was a police officer, like I got pulled over one time because I was driving, but he was going really slow. Like he was doing like 20. And at this time, the driving thing was 25. I thought it was 35, but it was 25. So I just like drove past him. I was like looking at him like, why?
You're like, why are you going so slow?
Why is he going so slow? So as soon as I drove past him, whoop, 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 I'm like, oh my gosh, no. And when he like came to see like who I was, my husband was walking up to the car, so he started talking to the police officer. I gave him my Cayman Islands driver's license, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Here, take back your Cayman Islands driver's license." And he was like, you can't go that fast. I'm like, okay, I just didn't know.
Yeah, I would play that. I would still play that card. I just moved here. I don't know.
I don't know. I use my Cayman Islands driver's license when I have a fully functioning 20.
Okay, back to the juices. Do you have a favorite flavor? Or do you use all of them with your family? Do you have one that you suggest? What's your favorite?
Well, my favorite one right now, because it changes. Like, depending on the kids, too, it just changes. They'll be like, oh, we want the 7 miles. But right now, my son likes the 7 Mile Sunrise. Okay. That's the more like orange, carrot, apple, ginger. He likes that one. Yeah. My favorite right now is the 7 Mile Beat. Okay. It's a perfect pre-workout. I just started working out, so
nice.
I'll be drinking that throughout the day as well because it just kind of helps.
Beet spelled B-E-E-T or B-E-A-T, like a beet?
B-E-E-T.
Okay, like the vegetable? Vegetable, right?
Yeah.
Not a fruit? Okay, and I'm assuming there's beets in that one? Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. It is really good. A lot of people, when they taste it, they're like, whoa, this is not what I expected beets to even taste like. But, you know, we have a nice little blend with the apples and the carrots and ginger.
Kind of masks the flavor. How do you come up with the names? Do your kids help name any of them? Or?
So a lot of the names are, like, influenced by my culture.
Okay.
So, like, 7 Mile, a lot of the 7 Mile is from 7 Mile Beach.
Okay.
So, 7 Mile Beach, I'm going to be biased. I'm going to be completely biased and beach bougie. But this is the most beautiful, the best beach in the world.
Really?
Yes. So if you ever get a chance, make sure you go to 7 Mile Beach.
Okay, I've never been.
Yeah, it's a beautiful beach. Google it.
Okay.
Google it so you can see, like, you can see everything in the water. Like, it's so clear. The sands are really white. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything specific you miss about back home?
Oh, the beach.
Yeah. Yeah.
The beach. I miss going to the beach. I really miss just the sunshine, like how bright it is back home.
Yeah.
And
I know. On a day like today, it's all rainy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then just kind of, I just miss being out in the sun. Like, that's my most favorite thing to do is just be outside.
Is your family still back? Back there? Do they come and visit?
They have not come to visit here. I always go back over there. They are very, how do I put it? They don't like leaving. They like to stay on the island, especially my mom.
Yeah.
My grandma, she likes to stay on the island. So I go back to see them at least once a year.
That's nice.
Yeah. Last year, 24 I was pregnant with him. 2023, yeah. The year before, we were there for about 3 months.
Okay.
We stayed there the entire summer, and it was so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. So Mensa hasn't been back yet? Okay.
No. We're planning to go back this summer.
Okay, I was going to ask that. Any plans to go back? Okay. Okay.
The kids are like, when are we going back to Cayman? Like, when are we going to go see Abuelita? That's what they call my mom, and I'm like, okay, we're going to go. We're going to go back this summer.
How long does that take? Is it 2 planes or 1?
It'll be about 2 planes, but it's like, we get the plane from like Nashville to like Miami, and then Miami to Cayman. Okay. So it's not that long. In total, we're probably in the air for like 3 hours.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah.
No, yeah, because quick flight.
My family's back in Colorado, so it's probably about the same, honestly. But we've driven, which is I actually prefer it. It's 21 hours. So my advice is put your kids in their seats. We haven't done it with 3 kids yet, so we did it with 2. I like driving because I don't really like flying, and you can take as much stuff as you need, and you can pull over if you need to. We can take our dog, and then we have a car when we're out there. We don't have to rent a car. So I like driving. Ross is very anti. He doesn't like it. But what we do is
Is he the driver?
No, we switch off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I'm not the driver.
See, I don't mind driving at night. Everybody's quiet. It's great. Just put like a murder podcast on and drive through the night.
Part.
Yeah, put my headphones in.
That's a good idea.
We put them to bed. So we learned this after doing the drive. We've probably done it like 5 or 6 times since having kids and since moving here. And again, we haven't done it with 3, so I don't know what it would look like. Because he's kind of a lot. he's not my easiest. But I want to try it. But we put them in their car seats, and then we just drive through the night. So, like, you start at, like, 7. You're kind of chasing daylight, though, because you're chasing Central Time. And so it's pretty light out for a while, and they're all excited. And then eventually everybody falls asleep, and you're like, okay, this is great. Just drink some coffee, drive through the night. And then by the time it hits 7 a.m., when everybody's kind of waking up, we're in Kansas. And that day is long because, like, Kansas is boring and there's nothing to look at. It's super flat and straight and it's not great. But, like, you switch shifts off and each do half the night, each do half the day. And I don't think it's that bad. But Ross is anti-driving right now. But I prefer it. So we'll see.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can't. The island is so small. It's like 27 miles long, 10 miles wide. Like, it doesn't take us.
What's the population?
When I was living there, it was about 60.
Wow.
60K. Wow. Now I think it's about like closer to 80K.
Okay. So
but
definitely smaller than Chattanooga.
Oh yeah,
Because Chattanooga feels small.
No,
it's definitely a small town, but yeah, that's small town for sure.
Small,
okay,
a lot smaller. Like everybody knows everybody.
Everybody knows everybody's business.
Yeah, it's always been that way. It's just Cayman living.
Do you think you'll ever move back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I could definitely see us moving back. Maybe not anytime soon. Maybe when the kids are a bit older.
Yeah.
But there are more opportunities here. Like,
okay.
Like athletic wise, like sports wise, like just school wise, like everything wise. There are just more opportunities for the kids to kind of grow.
Yeah.
But having Cayman to go back to is a lot of fun.
What was the biggest culture shock about moving specifically to Tennessee, but just the U.S.?
Ooh. The Burger King sandwiches don't cut in half. Our Burger King,
they cut them in half.
The chicken
that was
sandwich.
The biggest shock.
Oh my goodness! And the Wendy's didn't have
not
breakfast.
The people and the accents or anything.
Well, the accents, yeah, I was kind of used to that, but the Wendy's at the time in 2015 did not have breakfast here. But in Cayman, my entire life, Wendy's has had breakfast.
Oh.
So in the morning, I'm like, I'm gonna go to Wendy's to get us some breakfast.
They're not even open.
My husband's like, what? I'm like, we're going to Wendy's. I'm gonna.
Do they have breakfast now?
They do now.
Oh.
But that was just been recently. But my entire life, like 1995, 96, we would go to Wendy's to have breakfast. It was just a normal thing. But here it was like, I guess they didn't catch on to the Wendy's breakfast
until way later, like 20 years later.
Yeah.
And they don't cut. So they cut the sandwiches in half.
The chicken sandwich, the original chicken sandwich, the long one. They cut it in half in Cayman.
But it doesn't cost any different. They just cut it.
They just cut it in half. Okay. So when the first time I was like, I'm gonna get a chicken sandwich. When I go to the Burger King, I don't know why, but it upset me that the chicken sandwich wasn't cut in half. Like I don't know.
That's hilarious.
But that was one of like the biggest culture shocks, and then like little sayings.
Yeah.
That I would say that people just did not get.
The idioms.
Like, like I would say like you get what a duck get.
Okay, I wouldn't know what that means.
Yeah, that's.
So what does that mean?
It means it's kind of derogatory, but it's kind of like the duck. He got messed up. Like it's basically like you're in a bad spot.
Okay.
Like if somebody tells you get what a duck get, then you don't.
You get what a duck gets?
You get what the duck gets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So. I've never heard that. Yeah. I love that about even different cities. They have different ones too.
Like I would say it, and people would be like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh."
You're like, I can say this and no one knows what I mean.
Right. I gotta explain what I mean.
Well, I was shocked with all the fast food. So, and that people eat fast food as often as they do here because, and soda, because in Colorado, like, there's fast food there, but there's no, like, Hardee's is called something different. I think it's called Carl's Jr. Okay. And then there's no, like, Bojangles. There's no Zaxby. Like, all those places are not there. And so I was shocked with how many fast food restaurants there were. And then people drinking soda just, like, all the time. Like,
left and right,
I went to a like, photography session for a listing. It was, like, 8 in the morning. And this guy, he was my client, and we're there getting it all ready for pictures. And it might have even been 7:45. It was early. And he was like, oh, I'm so thirsty. And so I thought, like, juice, water, coffee.
The usual.
He opens his fridge and just cracks open a 7-Up. And I was like, wait, it's so early in the morning. You're just going to pop one off right now. What? I would get me. I mean, I guess it would get you going.
Right, but, exactly. Like, I would.
Not 7-Up, not 7-Up. Mountain Dew. It was Mountain Dew. Way more intense.
Mountain Dew.
Dew in the dew at 7 a.m. It's too early. Not 7-Up, because 7-Up isn't caffeine, I don't think. But I was like, that is like, that's a lot.
Right.
That'll get you going. Which, I mean, to each their own. But I was kind of shocked that people drink soda and stuff all the time. Just because Colorado, people don't do that as much. I'm sure some do, but it was very, a little bit of a culture shock. And the accent, too. Get used to that.
Yep.
But even on the GPS, like, if you type in someplace, it'll be like, pass Hardee's on your right. In a lot of different, maybe it's my phone, but it'll say that on my phone. It's like, go by the fast food place and then turn by it. And I'm like, huh.
Okay.
I guess that's the landmarks here.
Yeah, the Hardee's.
Hardee's. People love their Hardee's, man.
Yes. Yes,
Hardee's breakfast.
Yeah.
If you drive by a Hardee's or the Krispy Kreme, there's a line to get into it.
Wow.
It's nuts.
Oh my goodness.
I need to try it, I guess, but
maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't want that. If it's going to get me up that early to go get it,
no, I'm
that's
good.
too much.
I guess if you could go back and give yourself pre-kids, pre-starting your business, if you could give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
Ooh. Don't take advantage of just being able to go to sleep.
Oh. That's a good one.
Thing. Yeah, do not take advantage of just the ability to rest.
Yeah.
Like, and to also, like, know that you can rest. Because when I didn't have kids, I was go. Just because, you know, I didn't have anything else to do. Basically.
8 hours of sleep, easy at night.
Right.
Yeah.
I could do everything, but just not just sleep, but also, you know, taking care of yourself, making sure you, like, put yourself first and whatever situation, just kind of trying to be a little bit more selfish.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Self-care is huge.
Yeah.
As a mom and business owner and just a person. Self-care is huge.
Yeah.
But you don't, I feel like it's not always talked about. It's talked about more now, but when I was growing up, I definitely didn't see it.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't really
people
talked about.
Don't make it important until, you know, it has to be important. Until, like, you're, I'm so overwhelmed, or I'm so, like, it's not.
You're past your capacity.
Yeah. It's not prioritized as a daily routine, like, to kind of, you know, empty out your cup a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's good. And then do you have any advice for somebody wanting to start a business?
Get to know your taxes.
That's good advice, too.
Get to know your taxes. Like, taxes for me have been insane.
Yeah.
And not from, like, paying them, just more, like, finding out how many things are taxed, how you can, I don't want to say play the system, but how you can, like, do certain things and it'll, like, go into, like, your, like, tax, like, it goes towards, like, your taxes for your business.
Yeah.
Like,
write certain things off.
Yeah. Like, it's just crazy that there's not more. There is a lot of stuff out there about it, because that's kind of
you have to look for it a little bit.
Yeah, you have to look for it, but it's like just the everyday person, like, they don't, like, that mindset is not there. Like, that I can do certain things and I can write it off with my taxes. So in Cayman, we don't do taxes at all. We don't have any type of tax.
Wow.
Yeah, no income tax, no social security tax.
So is there any sort of, like, government fees that you have to pay that's separate from a tax? No.
We in Cayman, when you get paid, you have your insurance and you have your pension, and your pension is kind of like a 401k.
Okay.
And that's basically it.
Okay.
And that's all that comes out of your paycheck.
But you didn't have any businesses there,
no?
Correct. So it's all just in the United States. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So could you transfer it over, or you'd have to look into it?
I would have to look into it, but I would prefer if I opened up a business over there to have it be completely separate from the business here.
Gotcha.
Just because of tax regulations.
Yeah. I guess it would be kind of complicated.
Yeah. Cayman being a tax haven, like, if you see a lot of, like, espionage, spy movies, they're always like, their money's in the Cayman Islands, because everybody's always, like, hoarding their money.
Their account in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, everybody got an account in the Cayman Islands. So it's just, I don't want to have an account in the Cayman Islands. I don't want to be that type of business owner.
Business front, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, taxes. Definitely get to know your taxes. Be aware of them. And yeah, it's so much easier when you know, and it's a lot less, like, daunting. Like, when things come up, you're not so, like, oh my gosh, like, taxes.
Surprised or overwhelmed.
Yeah. It's honestly not even that hard if you know. Like, it's just a lot of reading.
Yes.
Like, just
a lot of research.
Yeah. A lot of research and reading, and once you know, you can, like, avoid certain things or pay certain things before
what you're gonna owe, when you have to pay.
Exactly.
I guess what's your favorite lesson that you've learned, or what's your favorite lesson that you've learned while owning a business?
Ooh.
I've never asked this question before, but I just thought of it.
Yeah, I like that. My favorite lesson is
favorite thing that you've learned just while owning a business.
Take my time. Okay. Yeah, to just take my time. I don't have to be in a rush. Like, I'm not in a competition with anybody. I'm not trying to, there's no clock. There's no, like, no concept of time when it comes to, you know, my business or anything else. Just, yeah, take your time. Enjoy it.
Yeah. That's good. I like that. I feel like especially sometimes I feel like I'm competing with myself.
Yeah.
But then it's like your day-to-day, sometimes like today, like I had an appointment and then I had the podcast and they're kind of close together. But then the other times, like the like sandwich part, like the middle part was really busy. But then the other like times before I get my kids, they were kind of calm. And so sometimes it's like, it's hard to not get distracted during those times and then also feel like guilt of like, should I be doing something more? But it is, but it's silly because it's like
I just did a whole podcast.
Yeah.
I just did something else.
Got a client signed on, like great. It's a great day.
Right.
It's typically a great day, but it's like sometimes you feel, at least I do, like, am I doing anything?
Yeah.
Certain days, and then other days I'm like, oh my God, how did everything fit into that day?
Exactly.
So that has been the also a big adjustment, I feel like, for me. It's like, it's okay to have that downtime. Don't lose focus, but sometimes do the self-care things. Or read, or like just take a shower in peace, sit down and eat in peace, like do something.
Just little things that you don't even realize.
That make you feel better, too. You know, help your soul feel good.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, where can we find you? Are you doing any pop-up events? I know you said you're hoping to do more online, but I know I met you at an event. Are you doing any events coming up?
So I have my Sweat Fet event.
Okay.
I do soca and dance hall fitness classes as well. So my next one is going to be January 15th. It's going to be like a red edition. Since it's
January or February?
Oh, February.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, February 15th.
Okay.
It's going to be like a red edition since it's right after
Yeah.
Valentine's. I want everybody to bring a flag.
Okay.
So if you want to pick an island that you want to be from, just make sure you get your little flag.
Cute.
And we're going to just be enjoying ourselves, having fun. It's January 15th at 8:30 at Nothing But
February
Net.
15th.
Why do I keep saying January? It's February 15th.
January's been a very long... Everyone always says it's a long month, and I'm like,
year.
We're at the end.
Right. Literally
last
today
day. Yes.
is the last day, and
Thank
it feels...
goodness. And then the year's going to just zoom past.
Yeah.
That's what always happens.
Yeah.
But we made it.
January.
We made it through January. January is
Something
just,
about
it's a gross
January.
month. It's cold. Everybody's sick, I feel like, at some point.
And a lot of
after the
cultural
holidays.
things happen in January.
Really?
Like last January was the Cat Williams thing.
Okay.
This January, unfortunately, it's been like a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Like politics. And
Yes.
Unfortunately, those people passed away on the plane. Like all, like January has been weird.
It's just
Kobe died in January too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's
January, I feel like it's just
January's
not. Sorry
weird.
if you have a January birthday,
Yeah.
but it's supposed to be like looking at fresh start, which I'm always like, yeah, at the beginning of January, but then you're through all the holidays. You're like, why is it cold? It snowed. It doesn't snow that often here, which was exciting. But then I was like, okay, calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're almost through January, so you've got your event coming up February.
February 15th. Yep.
Okay.
At Nothing But Net.
Okay.
And it's at 8:30 a.m.
Okay.
So
How long is that?
It's going to be for about an hour. The class is from 8:30 to 9:30. We're going to have juices. We're going to have smoothies. Some of our products are going to be there. So it's going to be a fun class.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Okay. And then where can we find you online? I know you have YouTube, Instagram. What's your plug away?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So online, you can find me at Shey Natural Health Bar. On my personal Instagram is sheynatural.xo. We have a YouTube, which is Shey Natural. And yeah, just follow me along this journey. You can go on our website and order all our products at sheynaturalhealthbar.com.
Okay. And then do you have any questions for me?
Oh, nice. I did not know that we could do this.
I've only done it a couple times, but yeah.
Okay.
You can put me on the spot. I put you on the spot.
Okay. What questions? How is it like being in real estate here and like being a mom, and like how does that work? Because I've always been interested in it, but I haven't like, I don't know. I'm just like interested.
So I got into real estate through Ross, my husband. You know, we were flipping houses here, and so we still do flips. That's how I got into it.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's not like HGTV. We see a lot of the other side of it. But it is. It's entertaining. And so I was like staging the houses a little bit. I wasn't working really at the time, but I was helping him behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And then he was listing with another realtor. Okay. And so I was like, well, why don't I get my license just so I can list and work part-time? Yeah. And, you know, when I got into it, I was pregnant with my second daughter when I was getting my license. But then COVID hit, and so it kind of slowed that process because the testing centers were shut down for a little bit. So I got licensed in the midst of being pregnant with her and the fun of COVID. And then I didn't really do much with it till that January 2021. Yeah. But the market was so great because interest rates were record low. And so I kept getting more clients, and I didn't want to turn them away because I was like, this is fun. And I everybody likes making money. And so then I decided to start the Working Moms brand. You have to work under a broker in the state of Tennessee for 3 years. So I did, and then decided to start my own brokerage, got my broker's license, and haven't really looked back.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been fun, like looking back and seeing my kids kind of grow up through it. Because my oldest is 6 now, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Like looking back, your pamphlet has your daughters on it. It's so cute. And you know, they're like
upgrade it now.
Yeah, and I've got video footage of them like running through houses and just like seeing how little they were. And you know, us growing together. It's been fun. It's a lot. I mean, it's not easy by any means, but that's kind of just the hustle of being a working parent. But yeah, I mean, you can kind of make your own schedule. I would say there's times where like I'm working with my kids for sure, and then there's times where like my son was just born and I had a closing like 3 days later. So things like that are out of my control a little bit. Yeah. But I've been able to like, you know, have a support system with at home and at work. And then this year I'm really looking to bring on a couple agents and just grow a little bit. You know, having my own brokerage, it's not like I can rely on a bigger name or someone else to like legally. I have a lot of liability on me as the owner of the brokerage. So I don't want to grow exponentially. But I do want to grow steadily and just kind of build that. I'm building that big foundation to have like the training resources and the support that I can offer to people like me when I started that I kind of wished that I had. Almost like a mentor or somebody as a guide. So that's kind of my hope, is to bring people on who want to work part-time but also be home with their kids. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So it started out as like, I'm going to do this part-time. And then I was like, I
got bigger dreams.
I'm competitive, right. And you know, I had this vision. And so I just kind of like made it my own. So yeah, I haven't looked back.
I like that.
Thank you.
That's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah. It's been a fun journey, and I've met a lot of people. A lot of people from a lot of different walks of life, and but I love it. You know, I'd say like for every like hard, like, you know, I'm sure you run into people too that you don't always mesh with. For every like one or two of those, there's like hundreds of others that are amazing that I like. I love what I do, and I love meeting other business women and connecting them, and so that's kind of what's driven that passion behind it. Real estate is boring. It's a lot of contracts.
It is.
It's a lot of just like, don't get sued, and you know, the process is the same. There's stuff that comes up definitely in most transactions, but it's the people, and then it's like the women that I've met in the community and other moms that's my driving factor behind it, besides my kids. So cool. But so it's fun.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I hope I can help you in any way to make that a reality.
So, I'm glad we connected. It's been
me too.
Great meeting you, and you come to the Moms in Business events. And
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that company is separate that I started with Rye, and it was just to do like mom business owner events. So I'm hoping to continue to grow that. We've steadily grown again. Like, it's been very steady. It used to just be me and Rye and one other woman who was part of it with us. Like, sometimes nobody would show up. But it's that consistency, and now we typically have 6 to 10. That's like been a good, and so I'm like, I'm hoping to get it to where one time we can run out of room and have like tons of people come. So that's my hope with that company. But it's a lot, you know, people, specifically moms, stuff gets thrown in the way. Sometimes sickness, or your kids just need you. They have an event, they've got sports or something, and you can't always go. But we're always going to have the events, so that's my goal, is to have consistency. So if you can't make one, come to a different one.
To the next one.
Yeah. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my plan for February. I told my husband, dang, I didn't think it's in January.
Yes, I wasn't there either. I was out of town, and so, which was very much needed. I went on a sister's trip, and it was great.
Oh,
great for,
awesome.
It was great. I hadn't been out of town since my son was born, and I'm like, we all need this.
Yes.
So I was sad to miss it, but also it was
Yeah.
bittersweet because I was having fun with my sisters.
Yeah, that's fine. We go to the next one.
Totally, exactly. So yeah, our next one will be in February.
Okay.
So.
That sounds good.
All right. Any other questions?
No, that was. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for coming on.
You answered a lot of questions in that one.
I talk a lot, and I talk very fast, so.
Oh no, it was great. It was
okay.
great.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. He's been an angel baby
you.
here.
He's asleep. My husband's like, he's just using you as a pacifier.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
I was like, okay.
That's what it's
He'll
for.
be fine. Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
It's great to
Thank
have you.
Thank you. This is awesome.
Yeah, and that's it.